Writing has got lots of varieties. In this video, we are going to learn about different types of writing. We'll be discussing some types of writing, traditional as well as modern. I bring your attention to different types. I want to bring your attention to different types of writing. First one, expository writing. It's a type of writing in which a writer writes each and everything in an objective manner, thus without putting his own views or speculations on the topic he is trying to convey. A writer writes something in an objective manner. The writer would not include his views or his opinions about the topic. He will see the topic in an objective manner. He will present the topic in an objective manner, in an authentic manner, without using, I think, in my view, in my opinion, so and so. Writing something in a straightforward manner, or writing something in an objective manner. Writing something on the basis of some statistics, some scientific evidence, some logical arguments, without including the writer's views on the topic. You can see some instances or examples for expository writing, textbook writing. When you write a textbook related to syllabus, you have to include some theories, some concepts, and some basis of knowledge. You cannot include your views. You cannot tell what you feel on the topic or what your judgment on the topic. You can just write the things as they are. If you are including some scientific theories, you can just write that scientific theories and you can explain by using some authentic points without telling your opinion. For example, if you tell about the visit of human beings to moon, you can just write the historical events which led to this visit to moon. You cannot tell that I don't believe that it is possible. You cannot tell because it is admitted all over the world. It's a fact that is admitted all over the world. So you can just write the facts. Then how-to articles. How to prepare a food item. How to write an essay. How to make use of PowerPoint presentation for teaching your classes or for teaching your students. So such articles will be there. And see, when you become a freelancer, when you join a freelance writing platform, they will never accept you if you used to write just like this, I think, I believe, I hope. Because these articles, how-to articles require expository writing style that you can write each and everything in an objective manner. Then Receipts. Receipts also can be written in an objective manner. You have to write the items there. The news stories, not the editorials. Okay, when you write them, if you are the editor of a daily, then when you write the editorial, then it will be representing your ideas or the ideas of your printing company. But news stories, when you write news stories, you have to write the events without adding your assumptions. And this you have to write just by asking the witnesses. You will see some people who have seen the incident. You have to just approach them and you have to ask them what happened. And you have to write whatever they explain without adding your assumptions, without adding your logical views. Then comes business, technical, or scientific writing. When you write something for the business company, when you write something to teach some technique, some technology to others, when you write something on some scientific theories, you cannot add your points. You can only write the authentic points which are there, which have been discovered by some other people or which have been proven by some other people. So this is expository writing, objective writing. Writing with authentic points without including the writer's views. Now the second type of writing is descriptive writing. It's a type of writing in which a writer tries to depict and explain the characteristics of people, places, event, etc. In descriptive writing, you will describe a person. For example, if you describe me, Mr. Hatip KK is a tall man. Or if you describe a place, it's a very beautiful place with coconut trees, cashew nut trees, and some lakes and rivers. So you're, you're depicting the features of people, places, or event. If you write about your college union, if you're writing the report, then you will write in an expository manner. But if you're describing, then you will tell the college day event was something wonderful. The song sung by that particular person was the main attraction of the event. So you're depicting or you're explaining, you're listing the features or the characteristics of a particular man or a particular woman or a particular incident, a particular place, a particular location. So it's descriptive writing. Let's look at some instances, some examples for descriptive writing. Poetry. In poetry, you can see we always depict some people, some events, some place, some natural places. Yes. Then journal or diary writing. When you write something in a journal, actually you will describe different items in an elaborated manner. And when you write your diaries, actually in our diary, we write the daily events in our life. We would write about the people whom we meet a particular day. We will write about his characteristics. We would write about his personality. We would write about the events which happen in our life on a particular day, and we would describe, we would tell about different aspects of that particular event in our diary. So it's descriptive writing. It's also a type of descriptive writing. Then nature writing, that is when we write something about nature. I think you might have read the poems written by Wordsworth. Most of his poems are on nature. So when we write about some natural beauty, we will describe its different features. Yeah. Then descriptive passages in fiction. In novels, we can see some passages which describe the protagonist of that novel, different characters of that novel, different places which come in that novel, different events. So descriptive passages in fiction, I mean in novel or in stories also can be considered as a part of descriptive writing. Then persuasive writing is a type of writing in which a writer writes on some topics by including his own views and speculations, so that to bring other people to his point of view. Here comes personal views. Here, actually, you're trying to convey some ideas which you have got in your mind. Some of your views. You are trying to express your views. You are trying to express your approach to something. Your opinion on something. And this is just for making others to follow your point of view, just to influence others. And here come some examples. Opinion and editorial in newspaper pieces. Read the editorials. You can see the view of the editor or the printing company. If you look at some some newspapers owned by different political parties, the same event will be presented in different manner or in different with different views in different newspapers. So editorial and opinion in newspaper pieces, you can see, is a part of persuasive writing. Then advertisements. Advertisements are created just for the sellers. So here, sometimes some film stars come there and they tell their opinion on different products. It may not be true. Just for influencing others, just for making others purchase the items. Then reviews of books, music, movie, restaurants, etc. Sometimes some music pieces may be praised by some people, and the same music pieces may be criticized by some others. So when you read a book, actually, once a book is written, it becomes the property of the reader. And the readers may not be approaching a book as the writer wanted. There may be different interpretations, okay? There may be different approaches to different books and music pieces, then movie, restaurants. So reviews, film review, book review, music review, restaurant review, you can see personal views. So these are examples of persuasive writing. Then letter of recommendation. When you write a letter to a person to recommend, to forward recommendation for another person, again you will include your views. You will tell this person is a very good personality with some communication skill. If you select this person as an employee in your company, he will be very useful for you. So these are some personal views. So letter of recommendation. Then letter of complaint. See, when you write a complaint to an authority, actually you are writing your views. For example, when the offline classes start during the lockdown period, some people believe that it is not right. And I may give you an actual example. When your seniors were there at the campus, the authority decided that the practice teaching sessions would be started after June by sending the students to school. But some students sent an email to the vice chancellor requesting him to allow them, to permit them to do their practice teaching online so that to complete their course before 31st March. And the vice chancellor accepted the request, and the practice teaching sessions started online. The practice teaching sessions were decided to be peer teaching sessions. That's peer students would teach their peers. After a couple of days, some other students approached our principal, who is a syndicate member, requesting him to stop the peer teaching practice sessions, and they would prefer actual school teaching practice during the month of June. So this is what's happening when you are forwarding a complaint. Some students were complaining against the peer teaching sessions. Some other students were complaining against the actual teaching practice sessions because they were afraid that they would not be able to complete the course before 31st March. So letter of complaint is an example for persuasive writing. Then cover letters. Cover letters means when you apply for a course, you have to submit your certificates. With the certificates and all the things, you have to write a cover letter. And similarly, when the appointment order, the appointment proposal of a teacher is sent to the authority, the principal has to attach a cover letter by explaining each and every aspect of his promotion. So these are some examples for persuasive writing. Then comes narrative writing. These are also called narratories. It's a type of writing in which a writer describes series of events by describing different characters, places, events with dialogues. Just like descriptive writing. But in descriptive writing, sometimes a poem is a descriptive writing. In a poem, sometimes you may be describing only a single person, or only a single place, or only a single event. But in narratory, you will be describing a series of events by describing different characters, places, events with dialogues. Some poetries are narrative poetries. For example, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. In that particular poem, he describes different people who are coming to a particular place. He describes that place, he describes different people who are coming to that particular place. Maybe some narrative poetry are there. So narrative writing is actually descriptive writing, but here you can see a series of events or a series of plots. You can see different characters and you can see dialogues between and among the characters. So it's a type of writing in which a writer describes series of events by describing different characters, places, events with dialogues. And there are there are different types of narrative writing. There are three major types of narrative writing. There are first person narrative writing, then second person narratories, and third person narratories. You might have read some books and you might have seen that such stories were described by the writer himself as a part of the story. You can see the writer there inside the story. He just describes the events, the characters, as he sees them in person. And he would use I. You can see I saw that person. I felt that person is a beautiful person. Is a handsome man. So you can see I. Then the second type of narratory is second person narratories. And this is a rare case. Here, the story is described just like the writer tells, or just like the writer addresses a person who is before him by using you. This one is very rare. I have written a story by making use of this second person narratory style in Malayalam for a college magazine before 1 or 2 years. So I was just describing an event which happened when I was a third standard student. So I was just describing that story just as I'm addressing my own friend. So this is second person narratory. Then there is a third type, that is third person narratory. In third person narratory, the writer is an outsider. The writer does not come to the scene. The writer describes each and every event as an observer, an outside observer of the events. And this is third person narratory. Now we can look at the examples for narrative writing. As I told, novels. In novels, you can see different plots, different events, different characters, different places. There will be a series of events. There will be a lot of characters. Another example is short stories. Short stories are just like novels, okay? Some beautiful pieces of writing. I like short stories, especially the short stories written by and Chekhov, touching stories. Then novellas. Novellas are just like novels, okay. Then poetry. Poetry also can be narratories. Okay, I told Chaucer's Canterbury Tales is an example for narrative poetry. Then autobiographies or biographies. When you write your own story, I mean your own actual story, you will be describing different people you have met during your lifetime. You will be describing different places you have visited during your lifetime, and you will be describing different events. Okay, so these are some examples for narrative writing. Then, by accepting some other criteria, we can divide writing into two: fictional writing and non-fictional writing. Fictional writing is a type of writing in which a writer writes something which he has built out of his imagination. Here, your imagination works, okay? Actually, the events are not real. And sometimes you may be creating some imaginary events after changing some actual life events. It's also is possible, okay? So fictional writing is something written out of your imagination. You think about something which is not actual. You collect something from your imagination. When you see a person, then you start imagining about him, and you will be creating a character. But this character will not be that actual character. You will be adding your own elements. So writing something by using your imagination, and such type of writing is known as fictional writing. The examples are novels, short stories, novellas, poetries. Yeah. Even if you're writing a poem on some actual event, it will not be presented as it is. You will add something, okay? You will make use of your imagination. If you're not making use of your imagination on when writing something on some real incident, then it does not become a poetry. It becomes an expository piece of writing. So novels, short stories, novellas, poetries can be considered as instances or examples for fictional writing. Then non-fictional writing. Without using your imagination, you're writing something based on facts and arguments, actual events. Okay, it's a type of writing in which a writer writes something based on facts and arguments, or a writer writes on actual life experiences or actual events. This is non-fictional writing. Examples for non-fictional writing are essays, articles, editorials, news pieces. These are all some instances for non-fictional writing. Then comes freelance writing. It's a type of writing in which a writer writes something on self-employed basis. So you can see some people are working in Mathrubhumi, Manorama, or Hindu. Actually, they are the official employees of such journals or newspapers. But some other people are writing for these newspapers, but they are not the official employees. They are individuals, but they have got some expertise in some topics. So they will be invited by the printing companies to write for them. So writing something for a company or someone else on self-employed basis, and you will be getting your remuneration for that particular piece of writing. Nowadays you can see lots of freelance writing platforms. The most famous is freelancer.com. You can just join them, then you can see works proposed by different employers, and you can make your bid. For example, if a person from Australia wants to get an article written on a particular topic, he will propose it. Then his demand will be the article should be written within 7 days, and his range of budget will be $500 to $750. And lots of freelancers will come there. As a freelancer, you can bid. You can just propose that you would do the work within 2 days, and you can do it for $500. Some other person will propose he will do it within a single day, but he needs $600. So this is what's happening on freelancer.com. There are lots of freelance writing platforms, online platforms nowadays. So freelance writing is writing for someone else on self-employed basis. Writing for some other companies without being an employee of that particular company or that particular firm, that particular press, that particular newspaper, that particular journal, that particular organization. So this is freelance writing. So this is something about different types of writing. You might have heard some other types of writing too. You can add such writings too. So these are a few types of writing I want to present before you. Thank you.